Hey guys, Matt here. Today we've got a little bit of an engineering project here. We are updating some fitment support on our 5th gen Ram bedside rack panels. This product has a little bit of a backstory because we originally released this, which is a standard length bed, as well as a short bed, I think in 2021. And then we just had such a small demand for the standard length bed that we couldn't afford to go and make a production run of them and get them on the shelf. And so one thing led to another, and here we are in 2025, and we are just now finally getting to the point where there's enough demand. And we've got the resources to go and make a handful of these, get them available for you guys. So that's what we're gonna do here today. Now, Ram doesn't make OEM CAD data available to aftermarket manufacturers. We've got agreements with like Ford, for example, GM, where we can get CAD data a lot of times. We can't do that here. So what we did is, instead of buying a truck, I bought a bedside. So this is a passenger side bedside from a 5th gen Ram standard length box. I've already put some 3D scanning targets on it. I'm gonna hit it with some spray because this is a little bit reflective. And then we're going to 3D scan it and see if we can pick up a prototype. Got a pretty clean scan of this bedside. I've got it cleaned up a little bit, definitely usable. One of the interesting things about this is from the short bed to the standard bed, the panel that's on the rear of the bed, so towards the tailgate, it actually can be the same panel. It's just the front and the spacing between, here and here that's unique. The other interesting thing is that this shape of this bed is essentially identical to a 4th gen Ram, except that this bed has these vertical things with these holes in them for the utility rail kit, and that's what we use to mount these panels. So a 4th gen Ram bedside rack kit requires drilling and mounting of rivet nuts, and these holes are already drilled, which is just perfect. So I'm gonna take what I've got here, design the panel. I'm gonna adapt it from the short bed panel, basically stretch it to fit this distance, and we'll add some MOLLE features here, and then we'll cut on the laser. So just quickly comparing, this is the panel for the short bed. That front panel, you can see it kind of rounds the wheel arch here and then terminates. And then the new panel essentially rounds that same wheel arch, but then we get, this is like 9 or 10 inches here, which makes sense, obviously, of additional space. So this I'm really confident in. Really the main thing was making sure we get the contour of the wheel arch and the rest of the bed. There's a bump out here that we're avoiding, which is the reason for that. I can show you that here. This is the model that I used when I was designing the short bed. And like I mentioned, the Ram doesn't share OEM CAD models anymore. Back when it was Dodge, they did. And so we had 4th gen bedside models. And so what I figured out is that 4th gen is the same as the 5th gen, except for those standoffs that I mentioned for the utility rails. So I actually modeled that panel using a 4th gen bedside here, and then just manually added in those standoffs. So this scan is a lot better. I'm a lot more confident in it than this situation. But anyway, that was quite a tangent. All right, so now this is ready to go to the laser. I'm going to create a DXF, which is like a 2D file, flat file of this part. We'll load it in the laser, cut it out, bend it, and give it a test fit. We got our file loaded up here. just getting the start point set here. We were cutting aluminum earlier today, so needed to make some adjustments and change the nozzle. Now I'm going to use, you can see it's got a red laser, which is showing where it would cut. I'm going to check the perimeter just to make sure that the whole cut's on the plate. Make sure we're close enough to straight. It's pretty good. We'll let it rip. All right, cut came out really, really well. As you can see, I tab in all these little pieces, mostly for prototypes, just so I don't have to worry about things tipping up and the laser crashing into them. We have a method with production runs where we don't have to do that, but for programming, this is easier. But cut came out really well. There's basically no burr on the backside, and we're cutting with shop air, not nitrogen, or oxygen, so super happy with that. I'm not even gonna need to touch this up. I'm gonna get these tabs bent. All right, so we've got the bedside laid down here. It's gonna make this step a little easier. If we were installing these on a truck, the next thing we do is install the rivet nuts in these holes here. Because we're not doing that right now, I just need to eyeball it. I've got the panel here, and I'm just going to set the panel in place and make sure things are lining up nicely. See how I did with the bending? Those are all dead on. And then the last point is down here. We put a rubber well nut in this oval opening down here with a spacer, and that looks great too. So this is, and it's following the contour here nicely. This is basically exactly what I would expect to see, so I'm pumped about that. Passenger side of the standard length 5th gen Ram bed, this is done. The driver's side, we can just in CAD mirror it, and I know it happens to be the same, so we're in good shape there. We're ready to go to production. So with that, we are wrapped up on this project. I feel compelled to give a bit of a disclaimer, which is that they don't always go this fast and smooth. This is a pretty easy project for us in that we do this kind of thing a lot. 3D scanning, this bedside went smoothly, and then the panel itself is essentially a longer variation of a panel we already make. So just kind of like went through the motions and it all worked out pretty well. It doesn't always go like that, so that's my disclaimer. We'll go ahead and we'll model the driver's side, get these into production, and then probably a couple weeks after this video is uploaded, these will be on the site and ready to purchase. If you're watching it after that, they're probably available now, so check it out. We'll leave a link in the description. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, you'd like to see videos like this of us developing and designing products start to finish, please leave that in the comments. Give us a call, shoot us an email. Catch you next time. All of our projects don't always go this smoothly and this quickly. Okay. That's that motherfucker. I feel like the Affleck duck. All right. It's gonna be longer too. All right, so I damn it. I'm gonna power through whatever noise that thing makes.